In this lecture, we will answer the question, what is the CIPP US certificate? We will also look at what the CIPP US exam covers. We will answer the question whether there are other IAPP certifications. Spoiler alert, yes, there are many. And we will conclude by answering the question, how do you get certified, and the exam structure. CIPP US is an acronym for Certified Information Privacy Professional, United States. This is a certification that is provided by the IAPP. The CIPP US exam covers 5 domains, and those domains are outlined in what the IAPP refers to as a body of knowledge. I have listed here the 5 domains that are covered on the body of knowledge, or the BOK, as well as the approximate number of questions that you can expect to see on the exam. The 5 domains covered are Introduction to the U.S. Privacy Environment, Limits on Private Sector Collection and Use of Data, Government and Court Access to Private Sector Information, Workplace Privacy, and finally, State Privacy Laws. Again, the numbers that you see here are the approximate number of questions that you can expect to see on the exam for any one of these domains. So for domain 1, for example, again, Introduction to the U.S. Privacy Environment, you can expect to see between 27 and 35 questions. For domain 2, that number is 15 to 25 questions. For domain 3, 3 to 7 questions. For workplace privacy, 5 to 9 questions. And finally, for domain 5, state privacy laws, 9 to 15 questions. As you can see here and on the curriculum, if you go to the course landing page and you scroll through, you'll see that the exam is very top heavy. The first 2 domains constitute more than half of the exam. Finally, for this slide, the CIPP US certificate is recommended for public and private sector privacy professionals. Now, one question you may be asking yourself is, well, Dr. David, are there other IAPP certificates? And the answer is yes, there are many. And the IAPP certifications are broken into 2 buckets by region and specialization. As you may have noticed, the CIPP US is the United States specialization. Other regional specializations include Europe, Canada, Asia, and China. Now, I know government is not a regional specialization, but way back in the day, the IAPP used to have a specialization for the federal government of the United States. That certification, sadly, has been discontinued. However, you may still see in folks' signature block a CIPP-G, and that designation is for folks who, again, when the certificate was offered, had completed the exam successfully. In addition to regional specialization, there is also specialization. These are general specializations for a number of different subfields. The IAPP offers an Artificial Intelligence Governance Professional, or AIGP, certificate, and 2 Certified Information Privacy X certificates, one for Certified Information Privacy Managers, or CIPM, and another for Certified Information Privacy Technologist, or CIPT. If you are interested in either the AIGP or CIPM exams, then you're in luck, because I also offer these certification preparation courses here on Udemy as well. So how do you get certified? Well, there are 3 pretty straightforward steps. The first step is preparing for the exam, and of course you're going to do that with me, Dr. David, and my certification masterclasses. You are then going to register for the exam, and you can register to take the exam either in person at a test center or via a proctored online environment. When you register for the exam, if it is your first time taking the exam, you will pay $550 US. If you are retaking the exam or taking a second certification exam, then that exam will be discounted and the charge is $375 US. A quick note, in the previous slide, we looked at the different certifications that IAPP offers. Note that the registration fee for the Artificial Intelligence Governance Professional, or AIGP exam, is more expensive. So the prices that you see here at the time of recording apply to all of the others, not to the AIGP. Finally, once you've prepared for the exam, you've registered for the exam, then you go and pass the exam, and you get your results immediately. One thing that's important to note is that once you pass the certification exam, you need to maintain your certificate. After passing your exam, included in your registration fee is your first 2-year period. Once that first 2 years lapses, you will then be responsible for a biannual maintenance fee of $250. Or if you are an IAPP member, then included in your membership dues is this biannual maintenance fee. Therefore, if you're a member, then you are not responsible for paying this separate maintenance fee. For individuals who are interested in becoming IAPP members, the membership fee is as follows. For students, it is $50. For retired professionals, it is $100. For members of government, higher education, or for folks that work for a nonprofit, it is $110. And the professional membership is $295. And that professional membership is going to be for everyone that is not student, retired, government, higher ed, or nonprofit. Finally, in addition to this biannual maintenance fee, or just maintaining your membership, for each certificate, you must also earn 20 continuing privacy education, or CPE credits per 2-year term. Now, I know that 20 CPE credits looks like a pretty big number, but again, number one, it's per 2-year term, so it's really 10 CPE credits each year. And you can earn those 10 credits by reading about 3 to 4 articles from the IAPP website. So if you're an IAPP member and you subscribe to the daily dashboard, then through that dashboard, you're going to get links not only to other news outlets such as the New York Times or Washington Post or so forth. You will also receive links to IAPP content. So these are going to be articles and research and so forth that the IAPP staff produce. If you click on those articles and you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll typically see a button that says Submit for CPE Credits. Again, if you have an account with IAPP, if you're a member and you're logged in, then after reading that article, you hit Submit for CPE Credits, and voila, you will get your CPE credits for reading that article. So that's a long way of saying that even though 20 CPE credits looks like a big number, you can earn those credits quite easily. Finally, how is the exam structured? Altogether, there are 90 questions. Of those 90 questions, 75 are scored and 15 are ungraded trial questions. Altogether, you have 2.5 hours to complete the exam. And in general, that 2.5 hours is more than enough time. A quick note on the 15 ungraded trial questions. First, what is a trial question? Well, a trial question is a question that IAPP is trying out on you and other folks that are sitting for the exam. So in short, you are a guinea pig for new questions that IAPP is trying out. Why would IAPP want to try out new questions? Well, every year, the IAPP incorporates new content into each of the bodies of knowledge. And in order to test folks on the body of knowledge, they of course need test questions. And so the concept of having an ungraded trial question is to try and approximate the difficulty level of these new questions. Are they too hard? Are they too easy? Are they just right? And so as you and other folks are answering these trial questions, the IAPP is going to get statistics, and they will use that data to determine whether or not this is a question that they want to incorporate into the scored question set. As you're taking the exam, you will not know which of your questions are scored and which of the questions are not scored. So what I like to do is I like to play a little trick on myself when I'm taking the actual exam. If I come across a question that looks absolutely ridiculous, if I hate the question, I don't like the answers, it doesn't make any sense, as long as I know I'm not going to be able to answer this question, I just consider it an ungraded trial question. So keep that in mind. There are going to be funny looking questions. Some of those questions, maybe all of them, might be ungraded. So don't stress yourself out on the exam when you run into those. In this lecture, we answered the question, what is the CIPP US certificate? Again, CIPP US is an acronym that stands for Certified Information Privacy Professional United States. This is a certification that is provided by the IAPP and demonstrates competence with private sector privacy law in the United States. The exam covers 5 domains, and those domains are Introduction to the U.S. Privacy Environment, Limits on Private Sector Collection and Use of Data, Government and Court Access to Private Sector Information, Workplace Privacy, and State Privacy Laws. The IAPP has a number of other certifications, including CIPP Europe, Canada, Asia, and China, as well as 3 further specializations in Artificial Intelligence Governance Professional, or AIGP, Certified Information Privacy Manager, or CIPM, and Certified Information Privacy Technologist, or CIPT. And again, if you're interested in pursuing either the AIGP or CIPM, I have those courses here on Udemy as well. How do you get certified? Well, you prepare for the exam, you register for the exam, you pass the exam, and then you maintain your certification. Finally, the exam consists of 90 questions. 70 to 75 of those questions are scored, whereas the other 15 are ungraded trial questions. And you have 2.5 hours to complete the exam.